I got to tell you, I am ready to send in the feds to Minnesota. The feds need to be there. They need to get out there and they need to start locking people up because these protesters turned rioters, turned criminals, think that they can just do whatever the hell they want, take over the streets, take over the businesses, take over the churches, and nobody's going to do anything about it because the gay Jacob Frey and jazz hands Tim Walz are totally fine with it, apparently. Now, let me show you what took place in case you missed it. There was a group of protesters that stormed a church, and Don Lemon, of all people, power bottom Don Lemon, decided to go in there with them, lead the charge, and these poor people who are just trying to worship God are now under siege.
I'm a journalist.
I'm a journalist. I'm just photographing.
There's nothing in the Constitution that tells you
why would you
what time you can protest. You can protest at
why
any
would
time.
you
That's
do
the whole point
this?
of it, is to disrupt.
Why would you do
and
this?
make people uncomfortable.
These people have
That is
nothing
what
to do
this country is
with
about.
ICE. Now, I want to show you one of the gentlemen who was yelling at all of these poor, terrified people. Again, just going in on a Sunday trying to worship God. And they can't do that. They're not allowed to do that because instead they have to listen to these demons scream about why these poor, God-fearing individuals are not out there protesting ICE removing criminals from their cities. Like, you can't even make this up if you tried. Here's what happened yesterday.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No,
so
Jesus
gross.
would dine with immigrants. You do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens.
Hey, you can't. Don't be.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life.
I can smell this guy
starving.
from here, actually.
Shame.
Like, you see him, Stephen, you see him and you automatically know what he smells like. It's not good, by the way. It's not good. So, Don Lemon, you may have heard him in the video that I played earlier. Don Lemon is with these people. He's antagonizing them. And he goes right up to the preacher. And despite being asked to leave, he just continues antagonizing these poor Christians just trying to worship.
We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left. So.
What do you think of this?
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will say,
I have to take care of my flock.
okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Right.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope
In a
of
private
the
establishment, Don.
That's the hope
Right.
of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
No
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay.
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I asked that you actually.
Like, what
also
a
leave.
disingenuous piece of shit. What a disingenuous piece of shit. First of all, you're invading the guy's personal space and you're a homosexual. He's not like he has a right to put his hand up like he doesn't want to catch AIDS. Okay. First of all, Don, you are a homosexual man impeding his personal space. And then you're like, don't push me. Don't push me. First of all, don't push me. Get out of his space. Okay. If you're holding a microphone, you don't have to lean in. You weirdo. Second of all, it's actually so fitting. It's actually the most perfect thing that I've ever heard that Don Lemon, who considers himself, he fancies himself a journalist. Don Lemon fancies himself a real smart guy. has no clue what the First Amendment actually is and does. You don't get to use the First Amendment, which of course protects your speech from government. It protects your speech from government interference. You don't have a First Amendment right to protest inside a private establishment, dumbass. That's not a thing. The audacity of these idiots to go out there and pretend like they know shit about our laws. You're going to storm a church and be like, it's my First Amendment right to come in here and do this. Of course, that's not freedom to protest, freedom of speech. Don't you agree that that's what this is? Can I come to your house? Can I show up at your door, Don? Can I storm your house? Can I interrupt all your dildos laying everywhere to go tell you that I think you're a piece of shit? It's my First Amendment right, Don. Like the audacity of these people, they're so retarded, dude. I'm so sick of these people. They fancy themselves real smart individuals. And they have absolutely no clue what they're talking about. And on top of that, Don Lemon, the homosexual man with no children to speak of, actually has the audacity to celebrate that the children in that congregation were scared.
Watch this guy here, look, he's hugging his kid. And, you know, I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful, it's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please, really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about.
Yes.
And so.
Oh, that's what protesting is about. Looks like the children are traumatized. That's what protesting is about. Is it like the least shocking thing that a homosexual man doesn't care about the safety of children? It's the least shocking thing ever to me. Well, that's what protesting's about. Better get used to it, kids. Better get used to it. I'm power bottom Don. I like poo-poo on my pee-pee.
You're just something else.
It's just like I have to laugh so I don't cry. It's so enraging that this homosexual man is going to go out there and traumatize kids and be happy about it and think that it's fine. It's totally fine. Well, guess what, Don? I hope you enjoy prison. I said at the beginning, don't drop the soap. Actually, you probably would enjoy it too much. Harmeet Dillon, Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, now is investigating the potential violations of the Federal FACE Act by all of these people desecrating a house of worship and interfering with Christian worshipers. That includes you, Don. Donnie boy, Don Lemon. That includes you, who now, in typical homosexual male fashion, is like, it wasn't me. Couldn't be me. I'm just a journalist with integrity, following the facts where they lead. I'm just a journalist. I'm just recording. Now, the journalists who, of course, got locked up for January 6th for literally just recording, you had a much different opinion on. But now all of a sudden, I'm just a journalist, just following everyone. I had no idea what was happening. Oh, is that true? I don't know. Let's roll the tape.
The MAGA administration and the fake news MAGAs are losing their mind over something that's not even true. So let me just make it clear, because this assistant attorney general, I don't know, what's her name? It's something Hammett.
Don't even know.
Dillon or whatever. So I have no affiliation to that organization. I didn't even know they were going to this church until we followed them there. We were there chronicling protests. Once the protest started in the church, we did an act of journalism.
These are resistance protesters. They're planning an operation that we're going to follow them on. I can't tell you exactly what they're doing, but it's called Operation Pull Up. And it's Takima Armstrong, and she has been doing this since George Floyd, Dante Wright, and others, where they surprise people, catch them off guard, and hold them to account. And so that's what we're doing here. And then after we do this operation, you'll see it live. And these operations are surprise operations. Again, can't tell you where they're going.
Can't tell you where they're going.
Gathered right now.
Can't tell you where they're going. But he does know.
We're going to head over to Whipple, and we're just going to show you what's happening on the ground.
Right. right? I had no idea. I was just committing an accidental act of journalism. I was just committing journalism. It was just an act of journalism. I had no idea. Guys, listen, I got to tell you, she's told me all about it. It's called Operation Pull Up. I know literally all of the people surrounding it who just did it. And I can't tell you where we're going, but you're really going to enjoy it. Like, please play that at his sentencing hearing. Please play that at his sentencing hearing. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the law, that the act that they were referencing there, the Civil Rights Division, this is actually, you may be more familiar with it than you think. This is the FACE Act, Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act of 1994. Now, you may be thinking, clinic entrances, that's weird. Well, it also covers intentionally injuring, intimidating, or interfering with, attempting to injure, intimidate, or interfere any person by force, threat of force, or physical obstruction, exercising or seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious worship. They clearly did just that with that intention. And I would like to remind you guys, as I tell and encourage the administration to throw the book at every single last one of these scumbags, I would like to just remind you that the Biden regime weaponized their DOJ to go after pro-life protesters for much less than what you just saw. Here's some of the headlines. Biden DOJ weaponized FACE Act to imprison pro-life activists, attorney tells House. Systematic campaign. And it was. Biden's DOJ puts pro-life 75-year-old grandmother and others behind bars for Thanksgiving. And then, of course, Biden is abusing the FACE Act to silence his pro-life critics. This was actually an operation. I wonder what that operation was called in the Biden regime. You had Operation Pull Up with Fatima What's-Her-Face. Hakima What's-Her-Face, whatever the hell this scumbag's name is. What was the operation called when Joe Biden convicted 23 people under his DOJ for praying inside or demonstrating at abortion clinics? That's what they did. By the way, they used that same act to add felony conspiracy charges to what would have been minimal sentences, and he went after the elderly. He threw 76-year-old women like Joan Bell, a Catholic woman, sentenced to 2 years in prison, threw her in prison for demonstrating, for protesting at an abortion clinic. She didn't storm the gates. She didn't yell at children. She was protesting the act of killing children in the womb, and he sentenced her to 2 years in prison. Paulette Harlow, 75-year-old grandmother. Felony charges for what they said was causing a disturbance inside of an abortion clinic. Now, President Trump did pardon them, okay? Thank God we got President Trump back in office to pardon these poor people prosecuted and oppressed, persecuted by the Biden regime. Arrest them all now. Get in there in Minneapolis and get them in prison and throw away the freaking keys. Because these people are so emboldened that they're also going out and they're attacking people in broad daylight, like Nick Sorter. Our friend Nick Sorter, good friend of the program, independent journalist. He had his camera gear stolen by Somalians in broad daylight. And when he tried to get his stuff back, he got his hand stuck in the door handle and they just started thank God. It is only by the grace of God that Nick is still alive, because this could have ended way worse than it actually did. Watch.
Why do we have to get out of here?
Get the out!
Why is it not our place? This is America.
Hey, get!
What did she just do? She took Nick's camera. She just stole Nick's camera.
He's like sliding on the ice.
Give him the camera!
I don't know how he stayed
Give
upright
him the
there.
camera back.
Nadina! Give him the camera!
What happened, Nick?
They just stole my camera.
Right out of your hand while you're in the car?
That's what the you wanted, right?
I mean, imagine coming to this country and being so emboldened that you're just committing crimes in broad daylight. Like, imagine. And you know what? Until there are arrests made, I guess I don't blame them, because this country has taught them that they can come here, they can exploit our system, and they can do whatever the hell they want, and there are no consequences because they're brown. You can't give the poor light bulb head people, you can't do anything mean to them. They already have light bulb heads. Why would you want to be additionally mean to them? They're already suffering from the inbreeding and the low IQ. You can't put them in prison. They need serious consequences for this. Because if you think that what you just saw, storming the church, stealing Nick's equipment, driving away while his hand is still stuck in the door handle, not knowing what could happen, it's getting much more violent out there. All right. I want to show you what else happened in Minnesota, and I'm going to preface it with this. Jake Lang is someone who has been very vocal lately about all of what's happening. I can tell you that there are some questionable circumstances about Jake Lang, and it's strange to me that the January 6th community, by and large, wants nothing to do with him. So be that as it may, regardless of who he may be and what his intentions may be or anything else, none of that actually matters in this particular situation, because he went there and a mob swarmed him and attacked him. And you can't just attack people in this country because you don't agree with their opinions.
It's January 17th, and I'm coming out of Minneapolis right now with two small wins today. One, Jacob Lang, the leader of this little pro-ICE rally in downtown Minneapolis, didn't go so well for him today. Small numbers, they kept getting cornered in downtown, and then a very friendly Minnesotan gave him a nice super soaking, drenching him head to toe in water, including his little cotton gloves and cotton hat. For reference, it's 13 degrees here in Minneapolis today. He got so cold, he began asking Minnesotans for help, which of course they did not give him. Last I heard, the Minneapolis Police Department was pursuing him in his red Ford Dart somewhere in South Minneapolis.
Pursuing him for what? Here's the footage of them swarming him. Oh, it's just a silly super soaker game.
Just go. Let
right?
him go, y'all.
They're not actively trying to attack him, pull him. There was a report that they were trying to stab him. Oh, it's just silly super soakers, right? Poo poo, pew pew. But where's the blood coming from? Was that, oh, I'm sorry, is that fake? Just like when President Trump faked that he got shot in the ear? Is it mostly peaceful bleeding coming from Jake Lang because he has a different opinion than you? Nuke the whole damn state. Like, I'm done. I am so, these people are irredeemable. These people are irredeemable. They're going after white people now because they think that, like, by the way, some of the people going after the white people also white. So explain this one to me. They're like, you're white and you're a male. You must be an ICE agent. I want to play for you these poor software engineers. Okay. There were 5 of them. They were all white men. They went out for lunch. They were like, hey, you want to go out to lunch? Sure, buddy. And protesters just started swarming them because they thought that they were ICE agents. Here's some of that.
This is so cool. So cool as in this has got to be the funniest thing I've ever seen. I know, it's like, you feel like a zoo. I've never.
They brought their friends. If you're not with us, then you're against us.
Oh my God. What? We do custom apps for a whole bunch of companies around Minnesota and the country.
This is nuts. Why are you filming us? Because you're yelling at me, screaming that you want me to die, for starters? Ma'am?
Do I look like an ICE agent? Holy
If you're not with us, you're against us, she says. Do you want to know why some of us didn't post the black square? It's this specific reason. This. Right here. It's this specific reason. Oh, if you're not with us, you're against us. You don't post the black square, you must be racist. You're not out here protesting for Somalian criminals, you must be ICE. That's where that leads. Every time. Guys, I'm so like, American justice demands that all of these people get thrown in jail, especially and including Don Lemon.